Welcome to the Hearing Wellness Journey podcast, an exploration of determination, hope, self-discovery, and triumph. We'll share the personal experiences of those that are living with hearing loss and provide a haven for their stories to show others that they are not alone in this journey. Please welcome your hosts, Dr. Dawn Heiman and Lindsey Doherty.
Hey, Lindsey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you for doing this special bonus episode today. As for all of you that are listening or watching, today is about over-the-counter hearing aids. The FDA has just listed the guidelines as of yesterday morning, and now it will be 60 days waiting period before hearing aids will be sold anywhere to people by those who are not licensed necessarily to fit hearing aids. So what do you think about this, Lindsey?
So, I think it can be really great for people who qualify because these devices, as we know, these over-the-counter devices are not for everybody. And it does say that in all of the publications that have been coming out. So I think it could be really great.
I agree.
Yeah,
I think you're right. So perceived mild, moderate hearing loss is the category, first of all. So if someone perceives that they're having a problem, they can try something.
absolutely. And, I think it is still important to, have a provider in their back pocket for, proper diagnosing and all of that. But I think there are some really tech savvy people out there who this could be great for them.
Absolutely. So I'm sure people are even already asking us, what does this mean for your practice? It honestly doesn't change anything in our practice. Our mission is still to help people to hear their best, no matter what you bring us. We've always said that we don't care if we never sell another hearing aid again. Bring us what you have. We're going to try to make it better.
Right. We can clean anything. We've got a lot of special tools that we can utilize, as far as cleaning and just helping to maintain, because things go in your ears, they're going to get dirty.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's, you know what, that's probably in my concern. The biggest downfall of over the counter is no one looked in the ears. Just minimally, you can't see in your own ear. And what if it's clogged with wax?
Absolutely. And a lot of people have no idea that they do have a wax problem because they've never been told so by a primary doctor, maybe. So that's definitely something to make sure you're getting taken care of before even getting into one of these devices.
I agree. They should first, if anyone's considering, we're never, even just yesterday, we gave someone all of the options, including over-the-counter hearing aids. He wasn't quite ready to do something, and he had a mild, moderate hearing loss, and we gave him all of the options of all the places that he can go, including getting treatment from us. But I think the first step is see a professional, find out if it's just earwax.
Right, because earwax could be that perceived mild to moderate hearing loss.
No doubt, all the time, right? They take out this segment that looks like a hard eraser, and who knows how long it's been there, and they're like, I can hear on my shirt, So first, get a proper diagnosis. You don't want to be putting a Band-Aid on a serious infected wound, and think, I just treated it because I went to Walgreens and I bought something off the counter. Walgreens is not going to diagnose you. Get an evaluation, and then go from there with that information.
Absolutely. And, it is important because not all hearing losses are the same. And some, even if that asymmetrical, you do want to make sure that you are still seeing somebody. If you want to program it at home and do all that work yourself, then absolutely. Some people are way more tech savvy, like a cell phone. If you learn to do all the things on your cell phone.
And that's what some of them will have. My understanding is that you'll be able to use an app and you can make adjustments. But sometimes you wonder, did I do it right? What if the screening that I did through the device and through the wax potentially, or who knows what if it was in a noisy room? What if it wasn't done well and stuff just doesn't sound right and it's a little wonky?
Right.
The answer is call our office. Call any audiologist office. A good one has real ear measurement. They have what we call electroacoustic analysis. There's a test box to put these in and make sure there aren't high levels of distortion, or it's not even emitting any like amount of gain that would be appropriate. And then we can test your hearing, set targets in the real ear measurement system, put little tubes in your ear canals with the devices on, because oh my gosh, last week someone was crying laughing with me when I made this example, but it's like, we can't get into your head and we can't crawl into your ear canal and listen to what you hear. And in your unique ear canal, you're going to hear differently than someone else if you have larger or smaller ear canals or bends and stuff like that. So the real ear measurement lets us see up on the screen with your targets, are you matching targets with these devices you bought? So many times we've seen that there's like a boost in the lows where you have normal hearing, and then it rolls off in the higher pitches, and you're saying, yeah, I feel like they're louder, but I still can't understand on TV. And we would be able to either with that app help you to tweak while we're doing live real ear measurement, or we might need to tell you, you might want, are these, I don't know, are they still in warranty? Do you have a trial period? Can you send them back? Because these aren't doing anything for you.
Right.
That's an option that we provide.
Absolutely. And, just because you are taking them home doesn't mean you shouldn't or can't see a professional to help guide you through this process too, because you might find that, these aren't really working for me. And because they might not be the answer for you, you might actually have a more significant hearing loss.
Absolutely. Most practices, most audiology departments don't just sell hearing aids. And that is the misconception about audiologists, that we just sell hearing aids. Hearing instrument specialists like you, Lindsey, you do specialize in selling and helping to adjust and fit the hearing aids. But like in our offices, that's not all we do, especially if you go to an audiology department or an audiology practice where we're also testing and evaluating for auditory processing disorders, tinnitus. We're looking at asymmetries. We're looking at, helping someone with a concussion who maybe has like a foggy brain and things like that. So we have the ability to just assess you in an unbiased manner. We have people who bring us hearing aids from Costco. They bring us hearing aids from wherever they went in Arizona, and we verify, validate the settings. Sometimes we have to make some major tweaks. Sometimes we make some minor tweaks. Sometimes we don't have to do anything. We can just say, yeah, they're perfect. Mm-hmm. But sometimes they're fit perfect, and that person is still struggling to hear. So we can offer, auditory training and group rehab and stuff like that. Speaking of group rehab, Lindsey, we're going to start doing group oral rehab, right? Do you want to talk about that?
Yes. So it's socialization is a really big deal. And when you have been isolating yourself because of a hearing loss, and, because social situations just provided a lot of anxiety, we're going to get people together who need to practice, and we're going to practice, listening to different sounds, different, making sure that you're getting the letters correct, your consonants and everything. But we're also going to let people talk and start talking together, start advocating for themselves. And by doing this as a group, you feed off of each other, and it's a very beneficial for your mood, for your ability to understand and process speech. It's just, it's really exciting, and we kind of can't start it soon enough because people have been asking for it.
They have. Yeah, because, working with me one-on-one can be expensive. So we thought, well, let's do groups. And even more so, there will be more and more people who bought something, but no one actually showed them how to use it. Mm-hmm. For us, simple. We know how to clean hearing aids. We know how to troubleshoot stuff. If you just received a box from Amazon, and you don't know what you're looking at, and you don't really know how to put stuff on. What if you were in a group and we taught you together? This would be for intro stepping into using these devices, kind of like you just bought an iPad, but you didn't go to class for that. You've been playing around with it at home. You're not really sure. So what if there was a tried and true method of using these devices, and then you're with your peers, and others might be at different levels and stages going, wait a minute, I just figured this out yesterday. Check this out. And they're going, no way, I never thought about that. That's a good idea,
Yeah. And as I've explained to people during a fitting, everybody seems to find their own way to put on a hearing aid even. So just the way that we put it on is not necessarily the way that they're going to continue putting it on. So you can really bounce ideas off of, it's like a mastermind for people.
No joke. Oh yeah. It's, and we run masterminds all the time for audiologists. So yeah, that's a good point. I think, just people are just curious what's going on with over the counter. The brief overview is that the FDA created a new category of devices over the counter. It has a maximum output of 117 dB, if that means anything to you, and it has to have a volume control with automatic gain control with what we would call compression. Loud sounds get softer, soft sounds get louder, and it's not going to be for everyone. Again, you will be able to buy them potentially, this is my guess, at Best Buy. The 17-year-old that's selling headphones and stuff will he'll show you the shelf and you can go buy them. You could probably buy them on Amazon. I know that there are some pop-up websites coming around. There were already some out there that was, were they over the counter? Was it direct to consumer? We're not really sure. The other category now is prescription hearing aids, the hearing aids that you've always known that you had to go through certain channels that the FDA was requiring and your state was requiring, that you have a licensed professional, that they do certain things with the testing, that they make sure that they do no harm, referring if this looks like someone that needs more medical care, referring them to an otolaryngologist or even an otologist, referring for cochlear implants, things like that. But this is something where it is, can't say it's not going to be regulated. It's going to be regulated with how loud they can be, but at home, this is something you can do for yourself. Warnings, this is not for children. Parents, don't buy these things for your kids and slap it on and think I'm going to save a ton of money. You could harm your kids' hearing. Someone who is a poor historian, someone with maybe dementia, Alzheimer's disease, probably not your best option, because again, if they can't tell you this is too loud or too soft, and you're just sticking it in their ears and no one's done a formal evaluation, you could be doing more harm than good. They're full of earwax. You stuck these things in their ears and you're making them wear them. And now it's like they're wearing hearing protection. And then right. You say, well, hearing aids didn't work for them. Well, who said them? Who looked in their ears? So just be mindful that this is not going to be perfect. We don't even know what they're going to look like.
No, I have actually been racking my brain over it. Are they going to be like over the ear? Are they going to be in the ear? What are these? What are we going to get?
Excellent point. But so when they were designed, in a sense, when, I don't know if it was Congress or the FDA or the president or who, it went through two presidencies of being, approved. The mindset of the American public was, we want better access to hearing care. The assumption is that the biggest barrier to hearing care is price. Those of us that work with people every day know that it's not as much price as it is a mental health problem. People are worried about being teased. They're being worried about being judged. They don't want to address their hearing. They think if they wear hearing aids, they will look older. We know people who had a benefit, 100% coverage, that said, no way will I ever wear hearing aids. I'm leaving right now. And they were free. So
Right.
it's a combination. So I've done some research, and of course we have 60 days, but what I'm looking at is these aren't cheap either. Those that are starting to at least advertise we're looking at just under $1,000 for a pair. It's a lot of money, you know.
Mhm.
Now, hopefully they have good technology in them.
Right. We don't know what their, I don't want to say bells and whistles, but for lack of a better term, bells and whistles are.
Yeah. I would think they would have to have Bluetooth if you're going to do the hearing test through your phone. Now, you're going to need to have a smartphone. Somebody does.
Right.
And you're going to need to know how, if it comes with 4 different size domes, some are closed domes, some are open domes, you're going to need to know which ones to put on. Will it tell you? I don't know. If your ears are ringing after using them, if you feel like you're jumping in things, you should take them out. Go see a professional. These do have a large range, but so do your headphones.
Right.
Going to a concert, the speakers could be emitting 120, 140 dB, but they're not banning concerts. You know, you can shoot firearms. Some people wear hearing protection, some don't. There are loud leaf blowers, you name it. There's loud stuff in our world. So the big concern about safety with this is you have a lot of stuff that you can harm your ears with right now.
Mm-hmm.
Pocket talkers are something that you could buy. It's this box with headphones, and they can drive up extremely loud because there could be someone with a severe to profound hearing loss that might try to use it. You know, be smart. If it's too loud, turn it down. If you're unsure about this and something doesn't seem right, your ears are ringing, go see a professional.
Right.
You know, you try to do something with your feet. You feel like you have extra skin, and I know I'm getting gross, but you'd give a foot bath, you use loofah, blah blah blah, and you're like, something doesn't seem right. You're going to see a podiatrist. You might go to the emergency room. You're going to start somewhere, but if something doesn't seem right, do something about addressing it. Don't be scared. Don't be shy.
And
Start with the big full workup.
I was just going to say, don't be, don't try to hide that you have purchased these either. So if you've purchased something from elsewhere or these OTC or whatever it might be, don't be afraid to bring them to a provider, because honestly, they can already probably tell that you have a device of some sort, but they're able to help you better once they know everything. So bring what you have. I mean, just lay it all out at your appointment so that it's just like you tell your primary doctor exactly what's going on so you can get the best medical care. This is the same thing. So if you have an OTC, if you have just an amplifier, a PSAP, if you have a hearing aid that you bought someplace else,
Yeah.
bring it, because even though they might not be able to help with some specific programmings or anything like that, because a device might be locked out, be honest, be open, and then you can get the best help possible. So,
yeah, like let's say I went to smile.com and I decided I wanted to get my teeth corrected online because it's cheaper.
mm-hmm.
I know of people who have worked and work in orthodontist offices, and apparently those things can do some major damage to your bite, your jaw, and all that if it's not right, So those people are having problems with chewing and pain and all of that. So they have to go to the orthodontist, show them what happened, so the orthodontist can now fix it.
Right.
Yeah. It's all good, So let's hope that the 80% of people who have a hearing problem start doing something about it. We have better conversations. There's less stigma around hearing loss. That's my big goal. I want everyone to be able to have a nice conversation with their family as best as they can with what they have,
Yeah. And this is an exciting time because, as you said, 80% of people are not doing anything about it. And so hopefully they will start to do something. And whether this is like the stepping stone and what they need right now, and in the future, their hearing loss might progress.
And it might not.
And it might not, but at least they'd be doing something, because cost would not be, as they're saying, is a big issue. So cost would not be hindering this, and communication can flow, and the isolation is not happening. Depression rates are not as significant, because we know there's so many different things that can happen with untreated hearing loss.
Yeah.
So for these people to take the first steps to get help, that's exciting.
It is exciting. I mean, I saw a study years ago that said the people reported that the number one place that they wanted to hear better was watching TV. Over-the-counter TV ears or headphones have been available for years, but there are limitations to them.
Yeah.
You can't plug it into people and help make their voices better. So, and the people have been doing okay with adjusting the volume to their TV. So let's see how this goes. Just know, if you need an audiologist, we have an audiology finder on the Hearing Wellness Journey. You'll be able, if you don't already have an audiologist, find one of those practices. Look up, even Dr. Cliff's provider network. Find your local hospital department. Find someone who can at least give you an unbiased opinion. And they're not all about just selling hearing aids. There's so much more than the hearing aids. It's the counseling. It's like Lindsey, like you said, like they don't know how to put them on. Sometimes they're putting them on backwards. We have people that we fit with demos. We showed them everything. They come back the week later because they can't understand why the things didn't work, and they were trying to put them in the wrong ears. It happens.
It happens. Yeah.
And like you said, we know how to clean them. So sometimes you got something and it worked for a month and now it doesn't. It's dead to you. My car dies. I don't know what happened. And the mechanic can think, silly girl, it was a little plug. All I had to do was change it. Well, I don't know that. If something stops working, go see someone. They might be able to help you clean it and it's working again.
Right. I mean, because what's the point of, even if you saved money by purchasing these OTC, if all of a sudden they stop working, and you throw them in the drawer and you're like, well, these are garbage.
Right.
You
or
just
you have to send them away for a month because, well, it's not working. And I know, they said you put it in this package and you mail it.
Right.
Really?
You're without, where you could schedule an appointment with a hearing healthcare provider nearby and get them cleaned up. It could be the tiniest bit of wax or the tiniest bit of dust in these microphones that is rendering them useless and just making them earplugs. And it's an easy fix, but these professionals have specialized tools to do this safely, to not break.
Oh yeah. We don't use a normal size vacuum cleaner, folks. We have the cutest little thing that can pull stuff out, So see a professional. Just know that this is a great thing for you. This is great for your families. But if you have any questions, call your local audiologist, call your local hearing instrument specialist. Just be mindful of where you go and make sure that they're not just going to try to do a bait and switch and just pull you in to sell you on something else. You need a proper evaluation though. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening. And if you need anything, let us know. You do know that we have a program called the Hearing Aid Certification, which is for nurses, caregivers, and allied health professionals to help them to know how to navigate helping someone with a hearing problem, where to sit in an activity, knowing how to change wax guards, understanding how to help change batteries or put the hearing aids on them. So if you want a link below, you can. That is something that is just to help support those who are day-to-day helping support our seniors.
Absolutely. Thanks. I hope that this really provided a little bit of insight as to the latest announcement.
I agree. It's all good.
It is.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Hearing Wellness Journey podcast. For more information about what we do and the services we provide, please visit our website at hearingwellnessjourney.com/podcast, where you can find more resources based on today's discussion, as well as request to be a member of our Hearing Wellness Journey community on Facebook. That's available for our listeners exclusively on hearingwellnessjourney.com/podcast.